Squish. Squish. How are you?
Yeah, I'm really good. So we're trying to help people out today because we get a lot of questions in the comments section of what pedals would you use for this? What pedals would you use for this? What pedals would you use for this? Now, I know not all of you are beginners and you could probably just skip off these. If not, hit the subscribe button and strap yourself in because you're about to do some learning.
Some learnings.
I'm learning, Super Nintendo Chalmers.
Some learning's about to happen here. So we're thinking about putting together just a solid group of pedals, like 1, 2, 3 pedals for... if you're in the market to buy your first couple of pedals, what do you need?
Yeah, but I think we're going to break these down into genres.
Sure.
So just to get some basic sounds for whatever it is you're playing.
Yeah, so you might be stepping out to a country rock gig or a covers top 40 that covers a broad range of stuff.
Yep.
It doesn't get too heavy.
Yep.
What are the things you need in your arsenal? Well, you probably need a drive of sorts, a delay of sorts, maybe some modulation, but a compressor for some country stuff.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
And nobody wants to buy compressors because they're the most boring pedal ever. But if you're going to be a country player, you need to have one.
And look, the Boss compressor is still one of the best on the market, seen on pedal boards everywhere, really.
Yep. So I am cheating a little bit because I don't actually have a compressor. They're all in my multi-effects units, all my compressors, HX Stomp and stuff. I don't have a standalone one. But so the Eventide H9, the big white pedal there, is standing in as our compressor today.
That comp, and it's fairly squishy. But, my compressors in my rigs, I've got a standalone one knob Dan Armstrong orange squeezer, which is on pretty much all the time.
Yep.
M13, if I use, I've got a choice of compressors there. Also in the head rush, I've got a choice of compressors. So this is filling in for our one bit of squish.
Yep. So for those of you beginners still watching, because if you're not a beginner, you've turned off by now because you already know all this. A compressor just lifts up the low volume notes and brings down the high volume notes and just gives you a nice, even...
Attack.
Thanks, Rod.
Yeah. And normally slammed over studio drummers or drummers when they're in the studio, just to give that that equal attack on snares, especially because, you know, they're not hitting with exactly the same velocity every time, and none of us are.
Yep, but that squished, compressed sound of the compressors is an integral part of the traditional country music twangy sound. So your guitar sounds like this.
And this is just through the iridium and no effects?
Yeah, no effects at all. And then with the compressor on...
Yeah.
So you can already hear, I can see on the waveforms over the computer how squished it is.
Yeah.
It's probably a bit much, but for the intents and purposes of today's video, it'll be fine.
We're absolutely got it set so it's noticeable. Funky stuff. Used all over that type of stuff. But to get an even pick attack on your percussive country stuff... And that's release time is starting to really push the output. So we've really got this accentuated, so you can actually hear the real squish.
Sounds like it's starting to feed back
on the attack. Yeah, because the gain is right up on the release. But
so anyway, there you go. There's part one of your sound. If you're just starting out and you're a beginner's pedal and you're a beginner with pedals and you want to play country, get a compressor. That's step number one.
Absolutely.
Step number two for me would be this delay pedal.
Absolutely. So a slap back. You can pick up a delay pedal for $50 or $60. A small footprint, cheaper version. Look, digital chip-wise, you can get some great emulations for not too many bucks. This one's one of them, but it's one of a few that we've demoed.
Yeah. There's a whole video on this if you want to go check out all the features it does. But so what a delay does is it takes your sound and it just copies it and repeats it for you. I'll show you really quick.
And you can set the time, you can set the threshold, the amount of repeats, all that type of stuff. So we've got a long delay going.
Yeah. So for quintessential country tone, we would be using a slapback delay.
Absolutely.
And that means those delays those repeats that are repeating that you just heard are going to be very, very short, and there'll be very, very few of them.
Yeah, and generally just one, and it's just a slapback note, and definitely heard in rockabilly, but also country. So you get that. And I might just. Right.
Right, play us a country tune.
Yeah.
You can hear it straight away. It's just so country.
To liven up any amp in any room, I've generally got a bit of slapback on for most of the night, and generally dialed back a little bit, so it's not as wet, it's not as pronounced, but you get the effect of really increasing the sound of that one instrument.
For those of you watching my hands then, I just turned the compression down a little bit because it was just sounded like it really wanted to feed back.
Sure.
Yeah, cool. So then the third step, if you're getting into pedals for the first time, you're a country player, after your compressor, and you've got your slapback delay dialed in the way you like it. In the middle there is a little black.
It's a blues breaker. It's a blues crab. This one's a Moore blues crab, but it's an emulation of a Marshall blues breaker. This is a sort of a soft clipping gain. It's not heavy as a distortion pedal or a Marshall in a box, but it just gives you some push.
Yep, and some dirt.
Yeah, a bit of dirt.
So these Overdrive pedals, again, if you're a beginner and you're watching this video because you are, it's when you've got an old-fashioned valve amplifier and you turn your signal up louder and louder and you turn the amp up louder and louder and it starts to distort, that's what these pedals are trying to emulate. It's that simple. And there is a billion different ones to choose from, and you're going to spend all of your money for the rest of your life finding the one you like best.
Hunting that down. Blues Breaker's my favourite. I've got a couple of variants on this. I really like what Moore does for very low cost, but I've got others as well. But this is nice.
Have a play and I'll turn it on.
Yeah, sure. So you can hear that's just starting to add not some fuzz, but a little bit of hair around the note.
And that's it. If you're a beginner, you're getting into country, these are the three pedals that we would recommend you start with to start your pedal journey.
Absolutely. A slapback delay, a comp, and some drive of sorts. You know, something that's not too full on in the drive department, but that just gives you a little bit of extra sustain, even for soloing stuff.
So that's it. Hope that helped, and we hope you really enjoy playing your guitar. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button for us. It helps us out a lot.
Yeah, and enjoy your pedal journey, and let us know how your pedal journey's taking shape. Hit subscribe and leave some comments. Let us know.
Bye.
See you next time.